Today I'm going to be talking about Season 3 of the TV show Wrecked. Now there's no spoilers in this video for the whole of Season 3, or Seasons 1 or 2, honestly. You might not have heard about this show. Wrecked is a comedy on, I want to say TBS, I'm not completely sure now, but it's a comedy. It involves a group of people who were in a plane crash, crashed on a deserted island. Whole premise sounds vaguely familiar, but I first heard about this show when it was, in development. I guess probably when they first ordered it to pilot or something like that. And it was something that I thought sounded interesting, that I'd give it a chance, and so I started watching Season 1, and I enjoyed it for the most part. I'll say this, it's not the best show. It's not the best comedy out there, but a lot of the better comedies, in my opinion, have already ended. So I think it's one of the better comedies that are airing right now. So it all depends on whatever standard you want to hold it up to. If you're holding it up to a standard of comedies that aren't even on air anymore, then it's kind of subpar. But if you're holding it up, in my opinion, to the standard of comedies today, then I think it looks a little better. Because I'm not a fan of a lot of comedies that are on air today. Really, the only comedies I watch, there's only a couple comedies I watch. 4 or 5. I'm not going to list them off. That's going to take time. But so I enjoyed Season 1. I thought Season 2 was maybe a little bit was maybe downhill in quality a little bit, not as good as Season 1, but still not bad enough for me to keep watching and keep looking forward to it. And it's only 10 episodes too, so it's not too time consuming. It's not too much time. I'm not dedicating all this effort into something that's just kind of okay, which it is. I'll admit it's okay. And I'll actually say that Season 3 in particular, I think, looking back to it, I might have to rewatch Seasons 1 and 2, but I would say that Season 3 might be the best of the 3 seasons of Wrecked. There were a lot of jokes that really stand out to me that I still, that I'm still thinking about now, sometimes more so than any joke from Season 1 or Season 2. This season is a little less obnoxious. I think especially Season 1 came across as more obnoxious. There was more yelling, more screaming, more loud jokes and crude humor in a way, and the humor kind of stays consistent, but the show, it's just a little less obnoxious than it was early on, or maybe I'm just used to it, but like I've mentioned, I may need to go back and watch earlier seasons, but I'm pretty sure that tonally it's, it might have gone down a little bit in tone, or been more calm. I say more calm. It's still all relative. It's still somewhat obnoxious, but then that is the humor. That is what makes the show, in my opinion. So the essence of the show hasn't changed. It's just been a little toned down a little bit, and I think that works for the show. I think with this season they've found a good balance with what they want to do, and we don't know much, we don't know anything yet about Season 4. It has yet to be confirmed, because it honestly only just ended last week. I'm kind of on the ball here with this review, doing it so soon after it ended. But it only ended just weeks. It only ended just last week, so we probably won't hear anything about a season 4 for at least a couple months. I don't know specifically how well it did in the ratings and how well it did compared to other shows. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are talking about this show, but and I think like it's probably like a cheap show too to make. It's probably not costing them too much. I think at this point they'll probably just let this show run its course for another season or two, and until it's really not doing that well anymore either. Like I said, I haven't checked the ratings. I don't know how well it's doing, but I enjoyed it, and I would like to see season 4. I think there's some. It's kind of wide open for where they could go with season 4. There's no specific storyline set in motion, kind of like you had in at the end of season 1 and at the end of season 2. It was gearing towards a more specific direction. I think this was almost a little bit. I don't want to say more of a cliffhanger, because they did have cliffhangers in seasons 1 and 2, but it's more of like an open-ended cliffhanger with more questions that can be answered and gaps that can be filled in, so to speak, with what we've seen and what we know so far. And season 4 could potentially be the last season too, for all we know, with how they handle season 4. I think it's, looking back to it, I've liked the direction that the show has gone over the course of the 3 seasons. It's kept it fresh. It's always, each season it's a different thing. It's a different scenario. Again, not getting too specific because you probably haven't honestly seen any of the show, so I don't want to spoil anything. But it always changes it up a little bit here and there, steady, but nothing too drastic, but still keeping within the core of the show and the main characters that we know, and following them along. And so yeah, it's I enjoyed this season. I'm looking forward to season 4 if they have one, and I think you guys should consider giving it a chance and checking it out maybe. But that's going to be it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.